You see this climb, you see life, intelligence is not enough. Intelligence is good, it's a prerequisite because as an intelligent person, your level of hustle and ideation is different, but that is not enough. Do not think that anything will be handed to you just because you're deserving. You may deserve it, but you will not get it if you don't stick your head into it. Patience has never actually given the dog meat. It's always given it bones.
Welcome to Voices with Victoria, the series that unlocks the power of resilience. Join me and industry experts as we explore career development, human capacity, nation building, and entrepreneurship.
Hello, everyone. It's another exciting episode of Voices with Victoria. I am your host for today, Victoria Undu, and it's such an honor to have drum rolls, someone very special in the studio. I call her the Kingmaker. She's also called popularly known as the Kingmaker. So when you call somebody the Kingmaker, you know that the person is, a mover and shaker. But I'll be doing an official bio read of my guest for today. Introducing Mmanti Umoh, a true multipotentialite and beacon of leadership with 14 years of experience as an image consulting and leadership expert. She's affectionately known as the Kingmaker for an unwavering support to others. Across Africa, she serves governments, multinational organizations, and private sector institutions, driving economic development, growth strategies, and holistic education transformation. As Nigeria's first Amethyst Award-winning keynote speaker and ambassador of Peace, she leaves an indelible mark on every platform she graces. She's the founder of the Teens Mentors Network Africa, IBOM Professional and Entrepreneurial Women Network, and the Purple Connect series. And she bridges the gap between startups and industry leaders. Her leadership as the founding curator of the World Economic Forum Global Shaper Community, Uyo Hub, elevates education and community development. Please join me as I make welcome today for another exciting episode of Voices, Mmanti Umoh. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Victoria. It's good to be here.
It's such a pleasure. I was,
it's an honor.
I would really want to interview you, and thank you for saying yes, sharing your journey.
Thank you for having me.
Amazing. So first of all, like they say, introductions. We would like to know you. We'd like to know the Kingmaker and one who has been able to, get results, especially in the educational sector. Who are you beyond all of this?
My name is Mmanti. People call me the Kingmaker. What I know, I do. That's how they see me. What I know, I do is to serve community, serve humanity, and serve people. So community can be restoring values. But for me, it is that every day I try to live out what I am called to do as a person. And if that translates to making people kings, then so be it.
Amazing.
I work every day to ensure that Nigeria has leverage. Africans have leverage. I believe that there are very amazing people in Africa, and that our story is far from told when it's told with hungry-looking children. Every community has its own ills. But my one desire on the day I exit would be that I have been able to create a bridge for every person that needed to cross to where they need to be while I was alive.
Amazing.
That's what Mmanti does.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And we hope in the course of this conversation, we'll hear more from you as you inspire people as well. I'd like to start off with your book. He Called Me Fixless. This book looks rich and I cannot wait. Thank you for this copy, by the way.
You're welcome.
I cannot wait to get right into it. So can you share a glimpse into why you wrote this book and the message you aim to convey, just briefly.
Writing me was telling the story of the first. Everybody's life comes in different parts. For me, I'd lived the first part where I dealt with a lot of sexual and gender-based violence issues, and I dealt with committees, acquiescence of what was going on in community, how we overlooked the deep-seated issues that were disrupting and destructing the good of the community. As a young child, I dealt with so much abuse that in order to shield myself, I had to start understanding why it happened that way, why it could go past even the laws of the land view, and in also speaking with others to understand if my story was a lone story. I got to realize that it had become a deep-seated part of community. So me tells a story, and me is a research is a research and review outline for people that have worked in power. Me is being used by international governments to review the issues of sexual and gender-based violence in Africa, to also review the issues of communal advantage or disadvantage of this, and also to see how people that have come through this walk that I have walked through are able to come back into community, re-establish their grounds, and to help stop the really cascading amounts of sexual and gender-based violence in our community.
Amazing. Amazing. So we'll get back to your background as much as
fine.
you want to share. But again, I would like to go into your career. You've had about 14 years experiences, career experience. And I know that this
More than 14.
More than 14, please permit me. And
Over
then,
2 decades.
oh, wow, there's over
Yeah.
20 years. Wow. So we need to update that
Yes,
value.
yes.
Absolutely.
I think LinkedIn bases some of the responses it provides from where you start updating. But yes, I have spent
Absolutely.
20 years working in community for people and working. I started my business at a very young age. So yeah.
Amazing. And I know that this experience didn't come with, just a free flow. There were definitely up and down, challenges and triumphs. So I'd like you to share with us some of the key lessons that you've learned so far on your journey that would be useful to our viewers, especially those who have started or in midway in their own journey as well.
Before I walked in here, I asked someone to read the questions to me. And as she was reading them to me, my friend was reading them to me, she said, she was just trying to prep me. And I said, top of my head. And while I was sharing this experience, she said to me, you always repeat this experience. I say, yes, because it's never left me. Going through career comes with its triumphs and trials. No career is smooth sailing except someone else is carrying you. If you're walking through your career, there's something that is going to happen that you're going to. That's why when I was asked the question, if my life were a movie, what movies would it be? I say season 1 would be Suits, season 2 Billions, where you get to a point where you feel you're going to fall out. My first lesson to anybody that wants to go into career, would want to start their own agency, company, not for profit, missions, whatever it is never hire emotionally. Never put people in your inner circle just because they are family and friends. If there is nothing else I had learned at the peak of my career. And so for me, I didn't have a lot of mentors guiding me as I was coming up. So I made these mistakes and I learned and I came through them and kept going. But the one thing you should never, ever do, or even if you forget any other part of this interview, is never hire emotionally. Never put, your inner circle must be people that can speak truth to your power and never be afraid to say to you, hey, girl, this thing you're doing is not working. 2, Don't hire them emotionally, because that is where disaster begins. I nearly lost one of the key things that up till today I feel the pain of that betrayal. And it was because I felt, oh, this my brother has displayed a kind of loyalty, put him on the team. Those were the people that stuck the holes in the boat that began to sink the entire ship. But at that peak of my career, I will never also forget a particular lady that has been my friend till today. Her name is Chijogo Akwinyili, Dora Akwinyili's daughter. She's now married, so sorry, yes, she has a new name. I remember her picking up the phone to call me one day and saying to me that the essence of
Sorry, please.
it's okay, sorry.
Thank you.
The essence of organization and companies and communities was the relevance they built by bringing people together, which was what I wanted to do for my community. But she said to me that friendship wasn't determined by loyalty. Friendship was determined by levels of trust, kept or broken. She didn't use these words, but the conversation we had that day was that determinant. So leaving that, I'm healing from it, but that has now helped me in creating the change. When people say she's this person, it's because as much as I love people, I am able to say this person cannot fit on this team. I'm able to hold a pause. Recently, I had to help someone assist a lady with a project, and I was able to get her the first 4 people. And I said to her, you know what? I held back myself until I met the right person. Because I realized that if you bring a team together emotionally, oh, it will end in tears.
Wow.
So firstly, never hire emotionally. Secondly, always do the right thing, regardless of who is doing the wrong thing. Do you want to start a hospital? Get the right people on board. Get the right equipment. Get the right certifications. You will never go wrong doing right. You won't. Keep going. Everybody will be malfunctioning, misbehaving. They'll say this is Nigeria, this is Africa. But there will be people that will be dependent. Your brand will depend on, because of the honesty and the value that your brand brings to the table. And then the last thing I want to say that I have learned and I have taken with me is never think that you're the best person in the room. Even as a CEO, never assume that because this is my vision. Your vision can only go as far as your mind can take you. But there are enablers of visions. And there are people that come to poke your vision to make you sit up and go back to the drawing table. I may want to run Voices tomorrow, but I'll never be Victoria. But there will be something I'll do on this show that will make Victoria go back to her drawing board and come back and be better. So your vision, Voices with Victoria, can become an international brand as far as your mind can take it, or can remain an African brand, which is dependent on your mind. So as much as that happens, that the vision bearer has the strength and the power to globalize his business, never also forget that they are enablers of vision.
Absolutely. Okay, so, you mentioned about vision enablers, and, that leads me to my next question on collaboration, right? Collaboration is a core theme of what you do. I see you out there collaborating with people. It's a core part of your work. Can you elaborate on the importance of collaboration and then strategies to achieving success while collaborating, whether for community development or for your business or for social impact, whatever it is?
The essence of humanity is collaboration. The reason God brought you, me, the next person is firstly to collaborate. If he had considered that there was no need for collaboration, he would have made just a forest in some place, put the trees, put the animals elsewhere, put humans elsewhere. And in understanding the essence for that, I see that everybody you meet along your journey may not necessarily be an end user of your product at the time, but may be a friend to your end user, may be the person. Everybody is a key to something we need to achieve.
Yes.
That's how I see people. I may not make demands on that relationship today, but there is a viable reason that person is placed in my life. As much as we may feel that our security men are irrelevant, is he not just a security person? That person needs to open the gate and close the gate and be available to respond to errands at a certain time. That's relevance. That's the essence of that collaboration. And I have realized that anything I'm able to support anybody to become has been because I was able to reach out to another human being. I want to meet the president. There's somebody that knows the president that can get me to the president.
Absolutely.
What was my relationship with that person? How did I leave our relationship? Do I see that person on the street and do not greet the person? Then all of a sudden I want the person.
Making demands.
You begin making demands. So I think that collaboration is the essence of life. And everybody should find a way to collaborate, meet, greet people every day. However, the key to collaborating and the lessons or what was the word you used? There was a way you described it.
Sorry. What are the strategies?
Strategies. First thing is, I don't know if you fully call this a strategy, but for me, I'd call it a key way into it, is that collaboration is for purpose and does not have an end. Collaboration is for purpose and doesn't have an end. Simply to me is that when you meet people, don't think about the end game. Think about connecting with them there. People want to know that you see them. People want to know that you hear them. It's not about, so we're in a selfie generation where, Miss Victoria, can we take a selfie? Miss Victoria, how are you? Mr. Victoria, you look good. It's not even bothering us now. We just want to know that we have a selfie. Let's move past selfies and have conversations. So when you meet people, have conversations. Number 2 is, as much as possible, bring something to the table. I know recently the bring to the table conversation has been, flooding our timelines and that. But essentially, bring something to the table. It's not always about money. It could be kindness. It could be help. How can I help you do what you do? How can I tell somebody about what you do? How do I enable you? Sometimes, I remember recently we had the long fast in my church. And I remember that through that time, one of the weeks, I kept posting different food vendors. Everybody was like, you're not fasting. I'm fasting. These people need publicity. My timeline reaches over 2,000 people at the speed of minutes. So I use that opportunity and I advertise somebody else. Refer someone. You may not need the service today. You may never ever need their service, but that person could be the key to enabling what you need to do. Number 3, collaboration again has to go for purpose. And you say, are you contradicting the first thing you said? No. Why am I in this relationship? Why am I in this business? Because I feel that sometimes in forgetting your why, you get a lot of mishaps. So I'm here because I have to have an interview with you.
Yes.
Imagine me coming now and saying, Victoria, I want to sell crayfish. So, everybody wait, lights over here. So that is not the essence of that moment. Always walk in the understanding of the essence of the moment. And other opportunities will prevail themselves. And when you work that way, people begin to feel they are valued and are able to also give you the value you need.
Amazing. This is just so very practical. And I'd like to now, go to people who are into community building, community development. I mean, you founded the Teens Mentors Network and many other things that you do. And you've demonstrated your commitment to community building. Can you share some practical strategies that anyone listening here who wants to go into that field or who is currently in that field can implement to engage effectively in community building within their own sphere of influence? How can they effectively engage in community?
So I know you asked that question. Thank you for reminding me again. So let's even start from private sector collaboration. There are things you want to achieve, and there are people in my sector that have the people, your end users. The essence of our collaboration is to enable you achieve your end game while I feel the fulfillment. Sometimes it's a fulfillment that a business gets from achieving its goals. That is what collaboration is about. I have the end user, you have the service. How do we connect it? And that even goes into doing social impact or community work. I remember that when there was the COVID-19 pandemic broke in Akwa Ibom, before the government, and we enable government by saying to them, this is what's happening, these are the issues we have, how can we help you as business people? My core work with the community stakeholders for social good is to bring together, we bring together or come together as business people to say, as business people, how do we help our community? By providing education, by providing resources. That is how our collaboration enables government. As far as government administrates and produces or creates a conducive environment, business is able to not only flourish, but to leverage people out of poverty to increase finance and help the economy. So if you're going to social impact work, what is it? See, you know, we have NGOs and we have NGOs. We have people that go into the non-governmental business for what they can get out of government. But we have people that also go into non-governmental business for what they can give to community. Like I said about collaboration, people don't, I don't know how that quote is put, but people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. You must show that you are concerned. What is the thing that I do in Akwa Ibom? Whatever it is that I want to do for my community and my people, I think about the end user. How do you want to satisfy this need? There's a crisis in education. What can I do? We send in volunteer teachers. I look for people like you that have some money to support because the economic situation affects us all, even the best of us.
Absolutely.
But I say to you, Victoria, please, can you pay for one teacher to help us elevate the cost of sending a volunteer teacher? And you say to me, okay, Mmanti, I'll give you 30,000 naira every month for a year. Do you know what 30,000 naira every month for a year will do? 200 students in one class.
The ripple effect.
The ripple effect. Many children that may never come into the advantage of the knowledge provided. And you're sitting at the comfort of your home. I am leveraging on the collaboration, but I am creating good. But look at it. You think of just a ripple effect. Let me tell you another thing it will do. It will reduce crime. Because when the poor have nothing else to do, they will come after the rich. And oh, the day is coming. And if they do not realize that Victoria had actually saved us on the day of our peril, they will come after you too. But this is the other thing I've noticed with community. When you help these people, in the day of calamity, they protect you. And that is the essence. So whether you're in social impact, if you're in a private business, the staff that work with you, how do you treat them? How do you pay their salaries on time? Do you care for, okay, this person has been sneezing all day. Have you taken, it's as much as 100 or 200 or 1,000 naira for medicine for for cold.
True.
That could be the little thing that could entirely change. So find the need that you want to support and then go with that need in mind. And then you'll see that the end users will come to you.
Amazing. And I would really like to ask the questions fast because I know there's a whole lot of wisdom to draw from you, and I want to leave here drawing and soaking out everything that needs to be soaked.
I'd be happy to share.
Amazing. And you know, they say image is everything, right? And you're an image consultant as well. What are some key things that individuals or businesses, organizations can do to cultivate a powerful and professional image, both online and offline?
Be honest. One, be honest about your brand. This is what I can do. This is what I cannot do. This is how far I can go. Two, refer people. You can't do everything. You can do some things. And in the event that you feel that you can't carry a project, business proposal, delivery alone, refer people. Because in referring people, you increase your relevance. Number three, serve community. If you sell food and then you have a lot of food left, give it to the people that need to eat around you. If you cannot save it in your freezer or always find a way to give back to community. And then I would just add four, obey the laws of the land. As much as people feel we're in a lawless land, be the lawful person. Stop at the traffic light. Let somebody know you stopped. This morning when I was coming, I noticed that community people had littered the road at such high levels that cars couldn't pass. That's not the government destroying your streets. You live in that stench. You wake up to that stench. The government hasn't done anything to you. You have done what you've done to yourself. So be a part of the solution. Don't be the problem that consistently needs to be solved. And when people consistently, I've seen times where people go on social media, on Twitter, on Facebook, and just talk about a brand because of how good the brand is. Recently, we spoke about a particular brand that consistently follows its color, its coloration of clothes. She has a boutique. And if you pass today and it's red, everything there is red. I don't think that when that lady was doing that, she did it to get praises or admiration from people. She just did it because she wanted to do what was right. And always, fifth thing I'll say is aspire for excellence. Anything, I'm a Christian and the Bible says anything that is worth thinking of, anything that is excellent, anything that is good, think of those things. Think of those things. I see you when you walked in, you were asking, is the light right? Is the sound right? Is this person seated right? Is the cooling right? Always, always, always aim for excellence. You may not be rewarded today or tomorrow,
but you definitely get your reward.
Yes.
Amazing. So I'm going to take this last question. Not last like last.
I know.
But then we'll now go back to your background and, what has shaped you so far. But I would like to ask this. As an emerging African leader, what are your hopes and vision for the future of Africa? I say this because you're a stakeholder. You engage both government and you engage community. How can young leaders contribute beyond saying, government, you should do this, beyond chanting, beyond complaining? How can we step up and start to contribute positively to Nigeria, to our local community, and to the continent at large?
My hope for Africa and Nigeria, starting with Nigeria, then to Africa, because we have a lot of African countries that are doing much better with their people. My hope for Nigeria is a country where everybody can feel like somebody without having to do much more than being human. It's a country where I don't have to pay a bribe to get into university because I did well in my secondary school. It's a country where after I work, I am able, the wages of my labor is able to put a comfortable meal at the basic of my resources on the table for me. That is my hope. It's a country where I'm not afraid. I am more afraid when my sons drive my car out that the police will waylay them, that they could be killed by a thirsty policeman or a power-drunk security personnel, then I am afraid that he will drive himself into danger. I want a country where our young people know that they are essential. The essence of being a young person now looks as if it's unrealistic because the old people are holding on to power. So before I speak to the young people, I want to say that I hope that the old people realize when it's time to step away and that They do not plunder our commonwealth till even their own grandchildren do not have anything to live with. As much as I will also say to the young people that we need to realize that we are on our own, and there is nobody that is going to come and save us. So we cannot afford to be dependent on the people that we should depend on. But I'd say to them, learn to be independent. Society is not coming to help you. Community is not coming to help you. Family cannot help you. Government has not grown to the level of helping you. Become so independent that you can live above the tides and become a solution provider instead of a problem that needs to be fixed. But once again, I want to speak to our older people. Step aside. Trust us enough to live, to be independent enough. Let's make our mistakes.
Sure.
But step aside and leave us.
Amazing. I'd like to ask this. This question is also very important to me. What do you used to believe in, but have fundamentally changed your mind about? Is there a belief or an idea or a notion or a strategy that, you believed in once, but fundamentally you've changed your mind about?
Yeah, I used to feel that I'm an intelligent person, really intelligent. My intelligence quotient is very high.
I can tell.
And I used to feel that being intelligent was enough. It isn't. It's good to be intelligent, but you also need to learn critical life skills. And by life skills, I don't mean being a multipotentialite. I love scaling. But aside learning, you need to learn to, let me use a word that may go deeper into what I'm trying to say. You need to learn to hustle. You see this climb, you see life. Intelligence is not enough. Intelligence is good. It's a prerequisite because as an intelligent person, your level of hustle and ideation is different. But that is not enough. Do not think that anything will be handed to you just because you're deserving. You may deserve it, but you will not get it if you don't stick your head into it. Patience has never actually given the dog meat. It's always given it bones.
Wow.
So get yourself together, put character together, but hustle. Because the essence of your life depends on sticking your neck out at all times.
Amazing. And then, because we just need to end this, can you just share with us, in final words, what you want the viewers to take from this conversation, using your life, your journey, your experiences? We could not even, if you have the time, you can share some of the experiences or challenges that you've had. But regardless, you are this person that people are looking at and calling the Kingmaker. I'm not certain that you were born with everything, with a crown on the head to say, you are proclaimed the Kingmaker. You had to, like you said, stick your head out for it. Just inspire and encourage people who might be going through one or two challenges and.
Okay, so I'll just say, there's so many parts of my story. So when you ask me to tell my story, there are different parts. But this is one thing I'd say. Just understand that the only time you were given an opportunity to be dependent was when you were in your mother's womb. That's the highest or the most number of months that dependency was something that was allowed. I have seen orphans survive and become people and thrive.
True.
I have seen people that have been through the worst become great people. Wigwe, when people talk about Wigwe, they talk about a man that never wanted to die begging. You may not become a Wigwe, but you can become a Kofi Annan. You may not become a Mmanti, a Wigwe, Kofi Annan, but the essence is that when you leave, let us remember your name for something. if you only come to life and you die and you only did what Mmanti and Victoria did, your life was well lived, but it wasn't relevant. Find that thing that makes your name tick in the ears of people. If you're going to be the cobbler, be the best cobbler ever available. And if I go by my life, I'll say to you, there's no rescue 911. Nobody is going to come and help you. Even if you're from the most wealthiest of homes, I didn't come from wealth. I came from an average home. All my parents would ever give to you is go to school, learn, read.
Basics.
If you're writing a sentence, know where your comma is supposed to be. That is how your life is supposed to be. Know when to put a full stop. Know when a deal is done. Know when to hang up the boot and try something else. Know when to say thus far and no further. You need people. You need to collaborate with people. However, the priority of your life is to become the best version of yourself. And waking up tomorrow gives you another day to try it. And every night you go to sleep, before you let down your head, ask yourself, did I do everything? Because just in case you never open your eyes tomorrow, know that you had done so well today that you can sleep in peace. That's what I would say, and that's how I live by. Were you kind to that person? Were you helpful? Did you do your best? Always ask yourself, you're not entitled to anything. Nothing. You're only entitled to live, and God has given you all that entitlement. Don't overuse it. Wow. Thank you.
I just felt a whole chill, and I know that everybody in the studio here too can, second this. Thank you so much.
Thank you
for coming to share. Hopefully we'll have you on the couch again. Thank you. So everyone, I trust that you all had a great time listening. I want you to take it a step further. I would share more details on how you can get this book. So you can get it, because I do know that it is very important for you. And you can also follow her on all her social media handles at Mmanti Umoh, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and you'll be glad that you did. Until next time, please do well to follow us as well on Instagram and everywhere at Voices with Victoria, and my personal handle at the Victoria Undo. Thank you. Bye for now.
Bye.
Thanks for watching Voices with Victoria. Please like, leave a comment, subscribe, and share. Cheers!